Hello and welcome to the Retail Journey Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Charles Greathouse.
And I am James Harris, and today we're talking to Brooke Hardin. Brooke is somebody I've worked with for a lot of years and is, more importantly, just a very, very good friend. And I've been looking forward to this conversation for a long time.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Retail Journey, Brooke.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So for the few people that might be listening to this that haven't met you, tell us about yourself.
Yeah. So I've been calling on Walmart in some aspect for 15 years. Really the basis of the success is I would call myself an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know, I get to help these small brands within Walmart move the needle, figure out the big questions, the little questions. And I do a lot of stuff on the side too. My husband and I have real estate and do RV parks and have a bike shop. So we just came together and we said, you know, when we're old and gray, we don't want to regret not doing something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we've opened every door. In my career, you know, I always say that failure is the most information-rich data stream you can ever get. And so we failed, but we've opened every door, and it's, you know, come with great lessons. But, you know, what a blessing that we live in this part of Arkansas where we have all these opportunities and we all have, you know, great talent and all these suppliers and Walmart with all of these stores. You know, it's such an anomaly that we get to do what we do where we do it.
Yeah. I heard this fact this week, assuming it's a fact, assuming it's true, that Northwest Arkansas has the highest per capita number of Fortune 500 companies, second only to New York City.
Wow.
Wow.
If you think about that, that's opportunity. Like, why would you leave this community?
Why would you leave?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When did you get here?
Into this world?
Yeah. Or to Northwest Arkansas. That's fair.
I'm like, which way are we going with this?
Yeah.
I started in 2010. I originally started with Acosta in their leadership development program, where you work in stores, you have a territory, and so everything comes back to execution, right? Mm-hmm. Worked on the vendor side, and then am now on the broker side. Yeah.
So from Northwest Arkansas, or originally, or you came here for work?
From Northwest Arkansas.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you
grew up in Fort Smith.
Gotten to see a lot of change.
All the growth.
Over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
RVs and bikes. I'd love to hear some origin story on
RVs.
Getting into the RV world.
Fun fact, I've never actually been RVing, but I know how to read a P&L.
This is good.
And, you know, a lot of boomers are selling their businesses. And this was a boomer who was aging out. He built it himself. And I wanted to get into them for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And we were going to build one out, put that on the back burner and thought, okay, let's buy one first and not just start from scratch.
Yeah.
And saw the opportunity, read the P&L, and then also saw the opportunity on the property to add an additional quite a few spots to build it out. So it's a math equation.
Yeah.
You look at anything in real estate and you go, the math works.
Is the math?
It's a math equation.
It's a good question to ask. And there's lots of scenarios where the question should be asked, does the math?
Does the math. Well, my husband uses ish numbers and I use an Excel spreadsheet.
I worked with your husband for a couple of years and he loves the ish number.
And it always works out. We're like within, I swear, $10,000 of each other every time, which is so irritating.
Yeah, because you spend a lot of time bottoms up forecast.
Yeah.
Some people's guts work better than others.
He's just got that good math in his head and it works.
That's really
cool.
funny.
Yeah. So that's how we got into RV parks.
That's cool.
Yeah, COVID was a pretty terrible time overall, but it was kind of boom times for certain segments, certain industries, and RVs sold like crazy during that time. So now it's either parked or you're using it. Right. So it makes sense that would be a...
Yeah, it's been interesting to learn. You know, we're on water, so water, you know, having attraction always helps. But yeah, we've been in the mud for about 6 months building this thing, getting dirty.
Awesome. So where is it? I have to ask.
It is in between Greenland and Westport.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Should I plug it?
It is beautiful.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Plug away.
Yeah.
Skipping Rock RV Park. And
Skipping
so,
Rock RV.
yeah.
If I ever get an RV,
You're going to
we'll
come.
stay there.
You're going to come. Come join us.
That's amazing.
When I take my first RV trip, I'll
Yes.
call you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So, like I said, we've worked together, and you're known for, I know you for, like, tenaciously solving problems and
Thank you.
great customer service.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, great question. And it's really hit me hard this past year. So I have had a great mentor, father, leader in my life, and I lost him this past year. I lost my father. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I had the opportunity to care for him in his last year. And I feel this great responsibility of the things that he's taught me. And so as he was passing, I sat there and I thought, it doesn't matter how much money this man has in the bank account. You know, he was very successful, an entrepreneur. And I sat there and I looked at his life and I was like, it was how well he served his neighbor. It was how well he served his customers. It was people. I would listen to him come home from work. I would listen to him be on the phone with his customers, and he cared. He cared about their kids. He cared about if the project was done, how it was going. He just cared really well, and he had great customer service. So as I've lost him, in the process of losing him and looking at his life, it's just given me a great glimpse of life to look at differently.
Yeah.
That, you know, we are so blessed to have great brands coming in and out of this area. We get to sit in these quick meetings, but it's about the people. The people make it happen. And I pulled this Sam Walton quote because it says, if you'll take care of your employees will take care of your customers, and your business will take care of itself. Simple, right?
Yep.
Like, we get so stressed out about so many things in this industry, but at the end of the day, it's the people, and you can't lose sight of that, I think.
Yeah.
And so I've been sitting with a heavy year, you could call it, and I think you could sit in it, or you could go, what would this man want me to walk with as he's left me with? And it's really been that customer service, the care, the people. I feel really responsible for when I leave somebody I've met or a buying meeting, thank you for your time. I mean, these buyers are busier than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the harder jobs over there. You've got so many masters. I don't know how they get through all the emails.
It's been years since Charles was a buyer, and he didn't get through all the emails.
I still have emails for sure in my inbox. They're left.
Are they unread, Charles?
They're unread, 100%. 100%. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, they're trying to predict the future, essentially.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they get enough appreciation for, what they're doing. So, great customer service is so important in every aspect.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I don't take lightly. And I've really thought about, I think the buzzword is, if you ask somebody how they're doing, we all love to say busy now, right? So when you're talking on the phone with the buyers, I'm not at length talking to them for 30 minutes or an hour. Like, I know I've got to get there, ask them how they're doing, any relative question, but you have to be sensitive to time, but also care within that short time period.
Yeah. It's a caring thing to have a bullet point. The specific thing that's needed, the action that's required, some of those details. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, and what a legacy, though.
Thank you. I feel
life well lived.
Yeah, we got to really think about 10 to 20 years worth of life in a year.
Yeah.
He was in a nursing home up here, and my husband is so amazing. And he would say, we're going to pick up your dad and we're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese today. I was like, okay. There were days that all he wanted to do was drive his car, and he couldn't drive his car.
Yeah.
So we took him to ride go-karts, y'all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was,
That's amazing.
it was a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
but it does make you realize each day is a blessing, and
Yeah.
to really show up and try hard and care.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're trying to instill in our kids.
Absolutely. And I was
Yeah.
having a conversation with somebody this week on a similar topic, and made the comment, like, we're all going to end up on a bed, and that's going to be the last place we are, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody that asks for their files or their computer or their awards. They're asking for the people in their life that matter.
Yeah. At my dad's funeral, a consistent message was that he was a great neighbor.
Wow.
That's cool.
So simple to be a great neighbor, right? To
Yeah.
show it for your community. And so thank you for that, Charles.
Yeah.
I'm left with, I've got big things to do, right? Like, I've got love to share. I've got knowledge to share, which is why I'm here with you guys today. So he wouldn't want me to be stuck in the past. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I've left with.
And it's about people and helping people and being real. And I deeply appreciate conversations that go to the deep end. And I appreciate you going there.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit shallower to talk through. Okay, what are the tactical things that help in the day job? But at the end of the day, that's where that
That's
is where
part
we
of life,
spent
too.
the day.
That's part of life too.
Yeah.
Was at work and working with others, and grateful for the many different relationships I've been able to start, the many more that are yet to come, and
Right.
being able to honor people as you walk through and help each other and
Absolutely.
achieve common goals is a huge blessing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So kind of on that vein of moving to our day jobs, very basic question: how can a supplier be really successful with Walmart?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? The
Yeah.
$1,000,000 question.
There's just one answer.
There were only
Okay, Brooke, we're ready.
there were only 3 answers.
There's 3. All right, let's go.
In the simplest form, I mean, the sundown rule, right?
Nice. Yeah.
The sundown rule.
Haven't heard that term in a while.
I haven't heard it either. And that's why when I was thinking about this today, I was like, I don't hear it anymore. I wonder if some of the younger positions know of that rule.
I was just about to say, for anybody that's relatively new to the industry, the sundown rule is one of Sam Walton's rules, that if you had an email, a phone call, a request, it got answered before the sun went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have the answer necessarily, but you have to say, hey, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Or I've talked to so-and-so and I'll get back with you in 2 days or whatever. But it's a standard that I hold myself to. It's a standard that I, hold, my suppliers to. And it's simple. It's great communication, really at the core of it. An email, a text, a phone call, but it's just the sundown rule. It's saying that you're a great communicator, and there's things within Walmart that a buyer may have the trickle effect if they have to communicate it to somebody else internally. So I think you're also thinking outside of yourself, outside of who they might have to report to. Definitely the sundown rule. I mean, it's not overly complicated.
Right.
It's kind of that basic blocking and tackling. And then the second thing is great email communication.
It can be an art.
It's,
Or it should be.
it should never be paragraphs.
Right.
It should never be paragraphs. Like, if you need something finished, it should be bullet points, never long-winded. If you're following up with the 3rd or 4th time with a buyer, these buyers have so many emails.
So true.
You're changing your email subject. Is it time sensitive? Is this my second follow-up? It's great email communication because we're reading things quickly. We're on our phones, and we're not writing essays on emails because
Nobody will read it.
You've lost me after sentence 3.
There's an awesome tool now that I wish I had 20 years ago, but ChatGPT. Do you use that at all for email writing?
Yes. Drop it in there. Make it short and concise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been a fun one as a merchant. It's probably overwhelming guilt inside of me, but I just want to talk to my suppliers. Like, I'm really sorry I didn't follow the Sundown rule. Yeah, I had one Sundown rule folder, and I had sort of like interpreted the email structure of every store operator. And so I had a rule where if it was, .str .walmart.com, that it went in my Sundown folder, and I would answer those by the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But for the many emails that I have still yet to answer from, was it 6 years ago I was a merchant? I'm really sorry. Sorry about that.
The folder got deleted.
Yeah, Sundown rule. I just delete that folder every
You're killing
every
the
evening.
Sundown rule now.
Yeah, so now it's definitely one of those you see and understand.
I think yesterday was the sun up and sundown day, wasn't it?
Spent some good time on the keys.
Yesterday.
But that's that is part of where it goes, and it's also deeply affirming to hear the comments on bullet points and emails structure matters, because I feel like such an overlurking leader when I'm coaching someone through how that should be written, because I know how eyes track. I know what will actually get done. A subject line of "here you go," never works.
Keeps you up at night, doesn't it?
The subject line has to just be the shortest version of what exactly I actually am trying to say. And so grateful for that kind of precision.
What does it hit you now with all of the subjects lines saying like external, internal,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's bothering me.
Yeah, because I just read one this morning. I feel like I'm a trustworthy guy.
You should be on the inside.
No, I just feel like I'm a trustworthy guy. And this is a client, so it's not the Walmart side. And it's like external, and Charles at highimpactanalytics.com doesn't email you very often, so you should read this, treat with great caution. And I'm just kind of like, your email carrier is being rude. I don't know what I have to do to build trust with your machine, but could you just read it with some optimism, maybe?
You should ask ChatGPT.
Okay, how can I get whoever this guy's carrier is to...
Yeah, it wasn't your domain. It was the words you used.
Maybe it was. Yeah. I don't know about this guy. And it is funny to see now the Siri summary. I guess it's not called Siri. Apple Intelligence summary of emails, and the action items that it reflects on your phone. And then when you read the email, it's like, that was not it. So they still need to work on how they read.
So you kind of started in the broker world, went to the vendor world, back to the broker world. You've either been in or worked with, 100 suppliers over the years?
Probably somewhere around there.
So,
all across the box except for apparel.
Yeah, and the kind of companies we work with, they tend to be like we're getting them into Walmart, right? Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, getting in is one thing, right? Year 2 is harder. Year 3 is the hardest. Of the suppliers you've worked with or worked in that have done the best, how does a company, a small company specifically, align itself to really serve Walmart well?
Yeah, right. Like responsible growth. So it's like starting in your, the dream is going to Walmart and getting 4,500 stores, right? But it's also can be a nightmare because you're backtracking and that P&L doesn't look so great. So really it's responsible growth. And so it's looking, where are your markets where you're performing really well? Where is that BDI, that brand really high? And so going, somewhere, in the depth of, what does 1,500, 2,000 doors look like?
Because that's like several chains outside of Walmart.
Which is a home run. It's still a home run. In managing those expectations, right? And so then making sure you're supporting it. You have all the lenses of Walmart.com covered. Making sure your price slope is right to rest of market. Making sure that your value on shelf versus your competition, what does that look like? I think more than ever this past year with inflation, we've learned price, right? Like, woof, like
Yeah.
price
You hear Doug
matters.
McMillan saying people are buying small pack sizes towards the end of a month because of money.
I've
cash
seen the data
available.
Yep.
I get it.
It's eye-opening.
Yeah. What private label has meant, the transfer to private label and the growth there. So, just keeping your eye on really what price looks like on that shelf. And so, yeah, it's the get in, it's the stay in, and then it's the grow. And I think with that is just great communication up front with your supplier and within Walmart. What is that buyer looking for you on velocity? Do you think you can hit it? And then you get in. How are you managing those expectations? Are you hitting it? Why aren't you hitting it? Do we need to dial into, price or rollback or things like that? It's effectively communicating really in that first year of, are we hitting your hurdles? Because if you're not, then you don't want to manage it too late, right?
Yep. And that window's pretty tight.
It's a tight window, right?
It's valuable space, and you have to earn it every day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed anymore. New brands are coming in left and right, and private labels growing left and right. That shelf space is growing. So you got to keep running the race and being meaningful on the shelf and innovating. The days of the same item, the same size, the same packaging, the same marketing strategy is over. I think we're constantly faced with social media and influencers now, and how are you playing within that space? And I think that space can be a little bit smoke and mirrory.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I'm learning and figuring out in that space. There's great people in this area that are doing it and that can help with that. Spending on .com, that's never going to be something that we don't say again, right? With Walmart Connect. So having that budget for it and having it on the front end and knowing that when your suppliers are budgeting with Walmart, that has to be a part of it now. I think that marketing budget within Walmart is for each supplier is probably getting a little thicker, from my opinion, for these small suppliers than it has been in the past.
You have to get noticed.
Well, it's like, I don't know, kind of originally it was literally showed up as a store number in DSS, which has sort of helped my thought process of being like, this is Walmart's top store. And now it's growing to like, no, it should be, you had a merchant tell me this morning, 25% of their business is what the objective is for ecom penetration. So, okay, what if 25% of the stores are being treated this poorly? Like, what do you need to do to fix that, to make sure that things are where they should be? You mentioned real estate early on. You're in some of that. When I think of a PDP without any sort of search spend, it's like having a house for sale and all you've done is put like a little paper sign in front of the house. There's no traffic. It's out farmland.
Size.
Right. It means it's never going to be found. You have to pay for search. You have to get customers to find the PDP before it's then in the sort of traffic wheel, if you would. I feel like a lot of people don't get it.
Our habits have changed, right? Arguably, like we're doing more grocery pickup, more online shopping. So
Deliveries.
I get it. The times are changing. How we're shopping is changing. So how we're marketing and how we're spending has to change.
Yep.
Competition is good. Competition is healthy. So
It's not just Google anymore.
or Ask Jeeves. Isn't that where we started?
I think so.
When was the last time you heard that?
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah, it's Walmart.com and Amazon can be search engines now is what you hear, right?
Yeah. Analytics is big in our background as a company. How do you work with data to tell a story, to move the needle, to, maybe overcome an obstacle even?
I think with data, it's important to have visuals. You can have a spreadsheet all day long, but you visually have to be able to tell that story really quick so they can grasp it. Does it look like a heat map? Does it look like a bar graph? I know it sounds simple, but it's all in the visuals of that data and how you're showing it to the supplier and to Walmart. But it's visually, I think, representing that data to where it's easily digestible. We've lost a little bit of it with the new Walmart data package. We've lost market baskets and a little bit of that data, demographic data that I thought was meaningful.
Yeah.
So we're working around not having all the bells and whistles of Retail Link. But at the end of the day, other retailers don't have the data that Walmart has.
Yep.
So we're still in a great position to have what we have. Go to another retailer and you're kind of a little blind.
Yeah. Well, if you've had the conversation and it's clear what we're doing is growing the category with a merchant, then there's a lot of collaboration. As far as filling in the gaps. Am I pointing the right direction? Am I looking at the right thing? I mentioned ecom penetration, and this is with a supplier that doesn't have visibility to their ecom penetration. So we have to have some merchant collaboration on, like, your goal is here, great, where are we today? And we'll keep following up and tracking down as we work through how to close those gaps. So
I think there's good questions too that you can ask that are more broad, like, tell me a range of a target, right?
Yeah.
Am I meaningful? Some of this data, like you're saying, isn't propped up to us anymore.
Yep.
But I think there's still great questions. Ask great questions.
Yep.
If they can't answer them, that's okay. But I still, like you're saying, like, am I meaningful on .com? What's the range? I think there's a lot of questions that buyers can't answer, and you don't want to blur that line.
Yeah.
But I think asking great questions of, am I hitting my hurdle rates? Am I being meaningful on Walmart.com? Is there anything you're feeling pressure from on your side that I need to go back within my organization and check with? I think we seldom forget that these buyers also have people they report to and objectives and bosses and margin targets, right? Like, we come to the table and, we're negotiating in its products, but we forget that there's a bigger picture that everything has to roll up to and then roll up again, right? So I don't think it goes without saying the pressure that they're feeling on their side, even with tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
To hit something and grow and make it be meaningful is important.
Feels like the easiest thing for me to do when things get complex is, all right, how simple can I make the problem we're trying to solve? It all comes back to a customer at some point. We're both very much aligned on solving customer problems in a way that engenders loyalty. Loyalty in retail is like an absence of a better alternative, be it quality, price, availability, convenience. So it's a matter of earning that customer loyalty day in, day out, and being able to focus on, all right, where are you seeing customers delighted? Where are you having customers get disappointed? What things have you seen that have made you reconsider how you're approaching the category? And those kinds of questions allow us on the side of, without full visibility to the category, understanding what's working, what's not working, what should we be trying to replicate versus risks we need to go mitigate in a category as customers keep shifting and competitors within retail, other retailers are out there also changing their strategy and finding different ways to approach customers. So.
When we have our meetings with Walmart and our line reviews, you've got 30 minutes, right?
Right.
And it goes by so quick, it feels like 10. But don't forget to take that first 5 minutes to let them talk, because that then should gear the rest of your time. Like you're saying, what are your what's happening in your category? What are your pain points? Yeah. You're right. I mean, if I was a new supplier coming into Walmart, like open up with questions. Don't just dig into this PowerPoint so quickly.
Which is hard because you spend a lot of time on that PowerPoint and you're ready to just, talk about it. And the meeting, 30 minutes, which is great. The first 2 minutes, we're getting the previous, vendor out of that room, and trying to get into the room.
That's been one of the hardest learned lessons of my life. I mean, to ask questions versus making statements. It took way too many years for it to break through. I mean, in sales, yes, but marriage, relationships, with having children.
Yeah.
If you're stating, you're not listening. And that was the thing that finally kind of broke through to me. And I want to be listened to. Everybody wants to be listened to. Took me way too long, but now I'm a believer.
I love that.
I started it with my 6-year-old boy. I've started saying, "Hey, is there anything I can do better?" Like just opening it up, like being in the mind of a 6-year-old. Like, so I said that the other night. I was like, "Hey, is there anything I can do better?" And he goes, "Yeah, I needed to print off more birthday invitations. I handed them all out." I was like,
"Let's go.
You got it, buddy."
We can
but you're
do this.
right. Like open-ended questions, right? Can lead you down so many topics that you didn't even arguably know that they were out there.
Yeah. Rewind back to, early stage Brooke. Give her some advice. What are the questions she might ask entering into this retail space?
Some questions I would ask buyers.
Yeah. You would tell, Brooke too.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would start with talking about the category.
Yep.
So tell me what you're seeing within the category.
Yep.
I would say, tell me your top 3 objectives over this next year. What are your margin targets? I would say, what's your pain point? What's not working?
I'd love to hear if you can recall some of your first meetings. Are those the questions you asked?
You were probably one of my first meetings.
Yeah. How did it go?
You were probably early on, calling on you.
Yeah.
Ask me that question again.
Well, did you ask those questions? Do you have any?
I've always been a great question asker. I will tell you, it is what I would call my superpower. Is I don't necessarily love to do all the talking. I love to do the question asking.
Yeah. So being a podcast guest has been great.
Well, I'm out of my comfort zone, but I'm here to share my knowledge.
You're crushing. It's great. Thank you.
I'm about to switch roles and ask you the question.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, turn it around. We're good. We're here for
we change seats, or are we good where we're at?
Yeah, let's pause for a second.
Everybody on the couch now.
You think earlier on in your career of calling on Walmart, and you to be totally vulnerable, I would get so nervous.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know everything. I'd study, and then you'd write notes on everything, and you'd kind of get those bubbles in your stomach. I would give anything to have bubbles in my stomach and nervous jitters before a meeting nowadays,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I guess after 15 or whatever years, you've had everything thrown at you in some capacity where you're just like, well, we can figure it out in some way.
Yeah. And your client, the supplier who's first time here, is just
so nervous.
Like, it's over, or thinks that everything is like they're getting, the entire line, 4,500 stores, exclusive rights to 1P, no, I didn't hear that.
No, I'm going to fix that expectation quickly.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine.
I was always in a sales organization, but I started in analytics like most people do these days. So my first actual sales job of carrying a bag was with Unilever at Target. And I don't know how many line reviews I had. And I walked in for a 30-minute meeting with 30 minutes worth of talking points. And Target's a little different where you can have a meal, with somebody that works there in a way that's unique to Walmart. And it was when I was having my monthly lunch with one of my larger buyer that bought the majority of what I sold. That's when I started asking questions. And all of a sudden, we've established this rapport. We've got projects that we're pursuing. Like the growth went from this to this, and it completely changed the way I walked into a meeting.
Yeah.
Like I went from 30 slides to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dream meeting is probably not even opening up the slides.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the conversation back and forth that gets to the core of what they want to talk about, and it gets to the core of their issues.
Yeah.
That's my dream meeting, is where you don't even open up the PowerPoint. You've got, your talking points, your products, your price points, and you have that open dialogue, right? Yeah. It's an organic meeting. It's what conversation and banter back and forth is supposed to be like. But we've gotten just a little robotic and a little bit company oriented to where, we have these long presentations, and they're needed. Like, there are times when they're needed, but I there's nothing I love more than when you have these meetings and you get that flow of conversation that is meaningful and unscripted.
Yeah. I was dropping off updated artwork of a new item sample, and sometimes for timing, it's required that we're doing that in person. I gotta go. I have to. But mostly just really enjoy being able to have a conversation. I know that season when you're in the layout center and it's very busy, but also sometimes you need to come up for air and kind of see the world around you, and enjoyed 30 minutes of just talking through some strategic initiatives, pressure in the business, where we see things going. And I think that comes from I don't think there's a love of retail at the root of that. I think it's a love of just helping people. And once you've been in retail and you start to understand what that looks like, you can't shop the same. James, to your point earlier, now you look at what do I see? What items have I had any kind of influence on? You look at strategies as you walk through the aisles. You don't visit any retail shop, or what's made it even harder now is website, because I can do a comp shop between meetings with just a site walk of somebody's site, and you're just always collecting little signals of what's working, what's not working, and it's hard to process those in a structured presentation. That's part of kind of the joy of collaborative problem solving. And probably the thing I miss the most is just being a merchant, talking with other merchants and other players on the team of, all right, like, what are you seeing? How are you attacking this issue?
Because you're all in it together, right?
Yeah.
You're probably in some aspect experiencing some of the same woes.
Yeah.
And so that
the price pressure exists across the box. And if someone's doing a terrible job of stewarding it, I always blame the Gatorade, the isotonics merchant when I was there. But they raised their price to close a quarter. Like, great, now the customer has less, like $1.50 less. And I'm in a category where you might not have to have it, but you did have to have hydration for the games this weekend. And so there is this very communal, like, we're fighting for the same thing. What's it look like to build
everybody
trust?
really feels that weight, though, more than ever, right?
Yeah.
Over these past 2 years with all of the inflation. Yeah. I feel it, certainly. And I know that the Walmart buyers probably have felt it more than ever.
Yeah.
Because that paycheck is spread. It's being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed.
I mean, in my career, we've had a few recessions, but we've never had this kind of inflation, which is, I think, harder on people and harder to manage than even an economic downturn.
Yeah.
And we haven't even experienced tariffs like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, what happens over the next year with this.
It's going to be creative problem solving.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. You got a rock in a hard place. And
put that on your resume.
Yeah.
We have taken a tremendous amount of your time. So we'll bring it to the lightning round and let you get back to all of the fun stuff you're going to do today.
I enjoyed the time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So, you talked about failure being the best teacher, if you look back over your career, or it could be personal that applies to career, what's one of the things that stands out of, stubbing your toe, but you really learned something from it?
I think when you're choosing the people that you're partnering with, have really high expectations of them.
Yeah.
Because if you're not 100% sold, there's not a day that you're going to be 100% sold.
Yeah.
So it's just, have high expectations of the people that you partner with, have high expectations of the people that you work with.
Yeah.
Because I certainly want people to have high expectations of me. And I think that's something I've learned over the past 2 years. Is,
totally
being with, good people that make me better, that raise that bar.
Yeah.
I had picked arguably a supplier that wasn't doing that for me. And, people can keep you up at night because you have problems and you want to solve them, but it's different than when they were keeping up for other reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just think high expectations of people that you're working with and that you're spending time with.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's the thing that matters, is the people you get to invest in and invest in you. And
you can be you can be both nice and hold people accountable and hold yourself accountable.
Oh,
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, they're not.
It's the loving thing to do, truly.
Yeah.
All right, like content. What are you reading? What are you listening to?
What am I reading?
What's inspiring you?
I'm doing a lot of meditation.
Yeah.
Something that I've gotten into the past year. I am the busiest body that you will ever meet. I wake up at 4:30, 5 in the morning. I am bugs. I'm
Ready to go.
Energizer bunny. I'm always going. I'm always on my feet. So to say that meditation was hard for me is an understatement.
Yeah. I
But
love
it's
that.
definitely, I wanted to do something hard that challenged me, that made my brain better, that made me think outside myself. So I've been reading a lot of Eckhart Tolle, like The Power of Now, Controlling Your Thoughts, Be an Observer of Your Thoughts. It's a great book. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. Great read. So a lot of like meditation. I want to be better. I want to show up better. I want to control what's happening in my head books.
Yeah, I love that.
I've gotten away from meditation, and I need to get back into it. I'm letting the busyness rule.
Yeah, I would say set a timer for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Put your phone down, close your eyes, try to shut down your thoughts. I mean, don't have high expectations. Start small. And then you'll crave more, and you'll realize that you're meeting problems differently, that you're falling asleep better. So I did not excel at it at first, but I won't go without it for sure.
Thich Nhat Hanh, if I'm saying his name right, he's a Vietnamese Buddhist that was exiled to France during the Vietnam War, wrote a number of books, and he said there's no such thing as being good at meditation. You can only just meditate.
You can't be bad at it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, as long as you're trying to do it, you're doing it.
It's beautifully said.
Yeah.
It's true.
And then lastly, biggest learning of the last year. Just a real eye-opener.
Learning. I think it's price. When I'm talking about Walmart, I think I've never focused on price more. I think they're doing more rollbacks than that's come alive again. So you're seeing a lot of rollbacks. But I think it's really about price, like keeping price where it's at, squeezing margin a little bit on our side if we can, just because you don't want to take that price up in this environment. So I'd say over 2024, it's been price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Sam would love that, wouldn't he?
Right. I mean, what's old is new. And
Yeah.
again, when it gets complex, the simple truth tends to hold.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was fun.
I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in. As always, you can find all of our podcasts, video, audio on our website at highimpactanalytics.com. And thank you for joining us.